Couple of days ago, IGN released some brand new gameplay footage for Phantom Blade Zero. Now, this is a title that I actually got to play last year at Gamescom, and I thought that even all the way back then, the gameplay was already extremely polished. The game felt very nice to play, and I was actually surprised when apparently this game's only coming out in like 2026 or something like that, because it already felt like it had the polish of a final product back then, which in a lot of ways actually makes me quite hopeful for what this game is going to turn out to be, because it seems that the development team is actually taking the required time to really polish and iron out all of the kinks. So I'm going to be going over this brand new gameplay footage here, which was posted by IGN. There'll be a link to the original video in the description down below in case you guys want to watch it without my commentary. And I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts about everything that is happening. But real quick, for those of you wondering what is the playstyle of Phantom Blade Zero, I seem to remember that what I mentioned in my video back then is that it's kind of like a faster paced Sekiro. So you have perfect parries, perfect dodges. These are mechanics. At least back then, I don't know if anything's changed, but back then, if a boss was glowing blue, that meant you had to do a perfect block. If the boss was glowing red, that meant you have to do a perfect dodge. And both of these things open up further combo potential for the game as well. And there was an interesting control choice back then, which I'm still not sure if that's been changed or anything like that. But like, so L1 is your block button, which is fairly standard, but R1 was your dodge button, which kind of makes sense when you think about the way that this game works. It also uses like combos using like square or X on your Xbox controllers, and triangle or Y to do like light and heavy combos and so on. And there's a lot of mechanics to it, but it is a very satisfying game to play. That much I can already tell you because I already played it. So I'm really looking forward to this footage and to see what's going on. So let's have a look. These are some executions. So real quick, the gauge over here, this is going to be familiar for anyone who's played these games. This is like a poise gauge of the enemy. And the thing is, when you break it, you're not going to get a visceral attack. At least you didn't, unless they've changed that. But what happens is when you break it, the enemies can't really parry or poise through your attacks. So you can just like really lay into them. You can just do all of your combos, go absolute bananas with them. And you can swap weapons in real time mid-combo in this game, so that's probably going to be some of the things that we're going to be seeing. But on top of it, weapons also have like these special attacks and stuff like that. And yeah, that's kind of like the ebb and flow of the game, right? Perfect dodge, perfect pairing, bust the gauge. Once you bust the gauge, really lay into him. That's kind of like the vibe. It's like some charge attacks on that axe right there. Somebody coming in on a horse. I don't think I had seen horseback enemies yet. I'm sorry, the volume might be a little bit too loud for that. Yeah, I don't think I had seen horseback enemies back then. Just want to go back just a little bit. He's about to bust the gauge on the horse guy. So busting the gauge got him down from the horse, and then you were able to punish. That had to be a perfect dodge. He took his weapon. Nice. Oh, visceral attacks. Oh yeah, there are visceral attacks, but it's not always when you bust a gauge, or at least it wasn't always when you bust a gauge. Like, you can have stealth takedowns and stuff like that, but I don't remember visceral attacks quite as well when I played it last year. But yeah, and an interesting thing was like the taking of the weapon. I definitely didn't do that when I played the demo. I don't know if they added at a later stage or what the deal was. Like, look at that. The perfect dodge, steals the weapon, stabs him with it, still alive, kills him off. I guess it might be heavy attacks after you break the gauge. Really cool animation. Like, the animation work was already excellent last year, and it just seems like they've been improving on that tenfold. Like, this is crazy. Okay, we gotta go frame by frame on this one. This is going insane, sorry. So what do we have here? So we have duels. These are dual blades. I mean, dual wielding weapons. Then we have Jagged Steel. Fills up the target's bleeding meter with each hit. Excessive bleeding will trigger hemorrhage, so it's a bleed weapon. L2, which is the special attack of the weapons, overwhelm the target with a storm of frenzy attacks. Could trigger hemorrhage. Costs 1. I'm assuming that's like some kind of resource you have for that. I forget how the resources work at this point. Sanguine. Launch a quick succession of tumbling attacks. Costs 1. Forged from mysterious metal, Sanguine is shaped like a sword, but carries the weight and impact of a cleaver. This was one of the weapons that you could use in the demo that I played. Wait, there were some things back there. Let's see. Damn it. Sanguine Twin. Launch a dazzling combo at elevated speed. I think this is another one that we did. Created by Forge and modeled after the original Sanguine. These short swords are tailor-made for Soul, prioritizing agility and speed. Jagged Steel. Juggernaut. Yeah, this was like the big, beefy greatsword. Each successful parry builds up 1 charge. The weapon turns red at full charge, at which point you can tap triangle to unleash his sweeping cleave. So as you can see, each of these weapons has like its own mechanics to it. Wait, there's a scissor type weapon? Seamless Death. The twin rings out as ranged weapons in quick succession with homing effect. R1, you briefly phase out of existence when dodging. You just briefly phase out of existence. That's some cool stuff for chakrams. Looks like he's swapping over to chakrams. But there was even more stuff back there, like, if we actually look at it. So, like, there's also, like, this one-handed sword that we didn't really get to see. There's a bow. There's an axe. Yeah, you can crouch to do stealth takedowns and stuff like that. This looks like some type of special vision that you are doing to enhance like your senses or something like that.
That's the key. Okay. I wonder what his deal is. Whatever it is, the 7 stars are way out of our league.
So you can listen in on conversations, get more context. Boom, stealth takedown. Double stealth takedown. Okay. I'm going to assume that that's a skill that you unlock later in like some skill tree or something, so you'll probably have to learn that one. Perfect dodge with the stabbing motion by stealing this weapon. Doesn't instantly kill him, then instantly punished. Boom. Sliced dead. Yeah, I think that the way that you get those viscerals, I could be misremembering, but it's like you break the gauge. After you break the gauge, you do like a sequence of heavy attacks, and then after that, you get to do a visceral. This guy doesn't even have a gauge. Perfect dodge. Dude, these animations, bro. What are these animators on, man? That is crazy, the talent on these animations. Wall running. Into assassination. Nice. The bell will probably let you, like, trigger enemies. Or no? Oh, it's like a bonfire. So you can teleport. Gives you a completion status. Okay. So this is probably your bonfire equivalent. Night Owl. R2, charge up for even higher damage. Night Watch's Trutch Teak Longbow. The flaming mane spews waves of flames. Yeah, you can... I thought that these were like only specials. Some of these are only specials. Man Cutter. Hold R2, charge up for even higher damage. You can unleash the charge attack immediately after dodging or in the middle of running. Tap R2 twice. Instantly swing at full charge to the cost of 2 of whatever the currency is. I think that these are like special weapons. I don't know if these work like regular weapons. Because, like, even the menu is different. Because I do remember that you had the bow and you had this flaming mane thing that I saw them do, but I think you usually use these for, like, a special attack or something. Because, like, as you can see, even though he chose it, you still have, like, the sword on your back. Yeah, those are for special attacks, like support-type weapons or something. It's like people are fighting each other. I love the way he moves while he's doing that. They're just gonna do the AoE. Yeah, but you see how he does like the kind of special attacks of the weapons that are on... Well, you guys can't see it because I'm kind of like covering it, but there's this menu under here. And these weapons right here seem to be like your main weapons, and these are weapons that you pull out for like special moves and stuff like that. Another execution. I'm actually going to move the camera over here because that just covers health and stamina, which is not as important. As a matter of fact, you guys might have missed a couple of things because my face was in the way. My apologies. Let me just see here. Form. Flip horizontal. Let's see what are the weapons we got on here. Seamless Death, White Serpent, Crimson Viper. We had seen those. Sanguine Twins. There was another one that popped in there, which I think was like my kind of sword. Sanguine Reach. Launch a series of white... No, this is like still a long sword. Launch a series of white swings, making use of weapons, additional reach and weight. Juggernaut. Oh, we're back to the chakrams. Chakrams with Juggernaut, and he's going to do Ink Cut and Man Cutter. Because you can swap it between those mid-combo. He's probably going to be using that technique now, I would imagine. Perfect parries charge it up like we read earlier. He's just like animation cancel parrying, it seems. Eating the enemy back? That's pretty cool. A broken piece of Shashi Amber. Because of the unwholesome shape, it keeps absorbing Shashi from its vicinity, but can't hold the power inside. Collect 4 chips, permanently expands Shashi gauge. So it's kind of like an action-adventure type of mechanic, like a God of War or something like that. This tells me there's going to be quite a bit of exploration. Look at the size of the level. Like, this is a massive level. And by the way, this supposedly is playing on PlayStation 5. Standard PlayStation 5. Like, if these guys were able to get the game to run the way that it was running when I played it at Gamescom, because it was running, like, no joke, silky smooth 60. You know, if there was any drops, I couldn't tell. And again, I'm getting old, so maybe there were, but I don't think there were any drops. It was like silky smooth 60 on a standard PlayStation 5. And this is likely UE5, I think. Which is even now more impressive. But these guys are putting in work. Why are you beating on Velka? It's evil. I love the sounds of the clashing of blades too. They sound fantastic. I'm curious as to why certain enemies don't have the stagger gauge. Like, this guy doesn't have a stagger gauge. Perfect dodge, you know what's coming. Another stealth kill. I love the yeet finisher on that greatsword. I was expecting them to do this swap. Oh, he did swap. He swapped from the thing to the edge mid combo, from the greatsword to that curved sword. Ooh, we got Jabba the Hutt with a mace over there. That's a big, thick boy. Dude, what are they doing with the soundtrack? I am into that. I like it when people take crazy chances with soundtracks. The animation on that perfect dodge. Fantastic. Copper Mall. And by the way, these guys make it look way easier when they're doing their demos. Because, like, I play the game and I remember reacting to the B-roll. And the guy on the B-roll was just, like, knocking it out of the park. It is not going to be as easy as they're showing here. The dust in the camera, interesting. Like, that's a neat little mechanic that they're doing here. So, because he's shooting up dirt, they're actually using that as a mechanic to kind of, like, blind you. Like, look at that. Because, like, this right here, this is intentional. This is not like, oh, the dust just happened to get in the way of the camera. No, because you even see, like, these little, you know, specks of dust getting stuck on the camera. So it's, like, intentional. Because it's almost like, due to the fact that the enemy is scraping up dirt from the ground, it's getting into the eyes of your character, so it's blinding you effectively for a few seconds. Very interesting boss mechanic. Probably gonna annoy the crap out of me, but still an interesting mechanic nonetheless. The butt slams. Jesus Christ. I can barely tell the weapon swaps because he's going through them so fast. Why is he spilling the beans? The bigger they are. You just get his weapon? The bash pole. Hold R2, swing the sledgehammer and finish with a ground slam, dealing shockwave damage to nearby enemies. Tap R2. I think that this is going to be another one of those, like, weapons that you only pull out for big hits like the axe or the bow or something like that. Grants the power to break through weakened floor covered with old planks. You need to actually equip bash pole. So there's Metroidvania elements to this as well. So the axe that we saw earlier grants you entrance into this boss fight, and then this bash pole is going to grant you entrance into other sections of the game. That's cool. Tap R2 to smash through weakened floors with bash pole. You can actually see the thing there that's being marked, I think. Oh, there it is. Double. That is really cool. I love double assassinations. Other games have done it. I think even Sekiro did it. Dude, they're going so hard. Like, listen, I know I've said it a million times, but that is because I am such a sucker for animations. Like, really good animations. Like, the game can even look significantly worse, which this one doesn't, by the way. But if a game doesn't look like super high fidelity and all of that, but has like this level quality of animations, I am so into it. Like, animations is my jam. Like, you give me a game that animates well and I'm like a happy camper. And they are just delivering tenfold on these animations, bro. Like, this is crazy.
A normal guy. That's a surprise.
I think our character is anything but normal.
Do you know how to get into the training ground? So, you're here to die too.
Of course.
Suit yourself then. Take the path on that side, beyond the pigeon loft, and the skywalk along the cliff. 3 burning beacon towers. 7 swordsmen. The leader. I don't know his name. They call him Al-Qaid. They have the key you need. Much appreciated. Beware of the 7 stars in their sword formation. Together, they have slain countless evildoers. But now, they're dark and hollow, just like their faces. The faceless part. Is it caused by perfect transcension? Yes. It takes away your heart, leaving only a husk. They put you to sleep. And when you wake up, you're not human anymore.
How does this guy know all of these things?
You're... My face is evaporating, right? Never mind it. I poisoned myself. And death will claim me long before I transform into one of those things. Really? Let me die in peace.
That's why this sounded so wonky. And the Tor. Wait. I want to read that. Come on, YouTube. Get your stuff together. Mandatory procedure for all personnel. To all personnel stationed at camp, all members of Allied Justice are to report to the training ground for perfect transcension augmentation. Procedure is proven and reliable. To win this war against the masks, we need every ounce of strength you can give. Any who fail or refuse to comply will face trial for treason. The punishment is public beheading. Wang Qing. Okay, more weapons. Ah, there was a new one there. You thought I didn't see it, but I did. Was it that one? Oh, that one, ink cut, we already seen. Where is it? I think it's close. Sanguine Reach. Serpent. Soft Snake Sword. While holding L1, that's your block, tap triangle just before an incoming attack lands to fend it off and greatly reduce the attacker's Shashi. Hold L1 and square to form a blade barrier that severs the attacks of thread-like weapons. Thread-like weapons, so like stuff that they use with the knives and whatnot that have threaded stuff. Okay, these are all weapons that we've seen. Perfect dodge. You get this thing called Ghost Step when you do those perfect dodges. These perfect parries. Straight up Sekiro porn. Jesus, that is incredibly oppressive. The wuxia vibes on this are crazy, dude. Thing you guys gotta understand is, like, I grew up with these really old kung fu movies, these Chinese kung fu movies, so I'm like giga into this type of stuff. Sister Wen of the Baishan sect used to be a kind person, but after receiving perfect transcension, she changed. Sometimes I swear there's a feral glint in her eyes. After consulting the journals of the legendary healer Jie Wenchun and his apprentices, I think I've found a solution. It involves cutting off both my arms. What? But in return, I'll become a conduit capable of extracting the excessive Sha-Shi generated by perfect transcension and thereby restore allied justice disciples to their old sane selves. Price is high, but I'd call it reasonable. Yes, it worked, and Sha-Shi tastes different depending on its source. Male subjects produce Sha-Shi that is hot and bitter, while their female counterparts, theirs is rather pleasant, sweet even. Okay. So then I enjoyed the process a bit too much when I realized the girl I was supposed to treat was already sucked dry, drained of Sha-Shi, mummified. But man, what an exhilarating experience. Uh-oh. Healer gone rogue. Assuming that's going to be the boss fight. And that would be him. Okay, so the healer doesn't have a stagger gauge. So no stagger mechanic there.
Enough is enough. I've got to get rid of this healer figure for good.
Wonder if he can heal the other ones. He started with the noblest intentions, poor guy. Whip sword type of thing. It's always wobbling. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Descriptions are subtle, but they're not covered by bloody red silk fabrics. Looks like we're using the chakrams again. What was it with this one? Axe Sha-Shi? Oh, it's because it formed into the big one. Sha-Shi Ember. Ember chunks with condensed Sha-Shi inside. Highly fragile and just as deadly. Extremely useful if you know how to tame its power. Carrying it permanently expands your Sha-Shi gauge by 30%. So basically that's just like a permanent upgrade. Red Wraith.
She's holding back. Under that sand-breaking Sha-Chi surge.
So this is probably the character that the healer was talking about that he wanted to, like, rescue. The main reason why he became that abomination. Looks like they were kind enough to put, like, invisible walls around this rooftop, at least.
Should I leave her be and push on for now?
Oh, you don't have to kill her! The implications of that mean that you will have decisions to make. And whether or not you kill people will likely have an impact on the ending. That's cool. That's a cool design decision, that you can just skip a boss fight and not fight them, and that will have, like, story implications. Maybe you'll meet them later or something. I'm getting really good vibes off of this one. Reach the deeper part of Justice Camp. Boss fight. This 7, whatever. Looks like one of them has a blue thing, so it's probably going to be the main one. Wonder if that's going to switch. Like he switches the souls. Ooh! Okay, so he's using the other ones as kind of like marionettes. This one's gonna be annoying as hell, I can tell. Can you actually kill them? Seems so, because that one's still dead. Kind of feel like there might be a... Ooh, dude, the counter there, what the hell? There's one behind us, though. Yeah, eat it again. Here they come. Perfect dodge. Swapping over the chakras. Get stabbed. Wonder how stats will work. Get kicked in the dome. So they're not going to show us. They skipped some parts of the fight. Oh, listen to the soundtrack! There's a dude up top that's controlling that. Well, there's a couple of dudes up top that are controlling it. On the towers. Dude! It's a strand type game. Look at all the strands. And he busted the gauge. Going in for the big punish.
Nothing can separate us. Not even in death.
And here's the red wraith. I wonder if you killed the red wraith before, if it wouldn't just like show up, but maybe then you also get less rewards. Oh, red wraith was healing it with her own health. Dude, this looks insane. What the hell, dude? It's probably gonna heal it again. Yep, there it is. Perfect dodge. get sliced up.
On the other side.
Now the other one gets enraged. See, one of the issues, and it's like, listen, I hate to like pause midway through this awesome battle, which is a fantastic sequence, but like, I do have to talk about one of the issues here, and this is an issue that I've complained about last year. And I almost feel like this comes with the territory whenever it comes to people using Unreal Engine 5. But one of the issues that I'm seeing here is like, there are so many particle effects that it's really going to interfere with the fight. And this is one of the issues that I usually find of developers using Unreal Engine 5 is that they just see, oh, look at all these bells and whistles we can put on this. Man, we can have so many particle effects on screen at any given time. This was also an issue with Lords of the Fallen when it initially released. I haven't played Lords of the Fallen 2.0. I hope I get to do that at some point because I've just been so busy. But that's the thing, right? If you have too many particle effects and too much stuff happening on screen at any given time that it kind of like distracts you from the fight, it can get a little bit annoying. So, you know, that's just like one of my biggest criticisms of this game so far. But like everything else completely outweighs it, so it is what it is. Boom, done. The release date will be the release date will be announced in 2025. What? Oh, man. But, like, listen, here's where I'm at with this stuff. I know that a lot of people are probably going to be thinking, oh, just give it to me now. I need the game now, bro. I'm like, take your time. Plenty of video games to play out there. Take your time. Get it right. Release it performing great. Like I'm telling you, I have really high hopes for this one. Now, one of the things that I'm a little bit concerned with, and that's the thing, I don't know what is this Hellwalker difficulty thing, but like the secret duo boss is really cool. The fact that like you skip the Red Wraith and then, you know, you fight it there. Maybe that fight is completely different if you kill the Red Wraith. I don't know. Maybe get better rewards if you do it when you are doing it with the Red Wraith, which is, I think, what makes the most sense. But like, I'm very concerned about multiple difficulties. Like I've always stated, I find that these types of games are better when they have one difficulty. And I don't know how I feel if they're going to be splitting their attention between multiple difficulties, but we'll see. But what did you guys think about that gameplay demo? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm super excited for Phantom Blade Zero. And yeah, it's going to be it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out.